Hey, what's going on, guys? So today's video is going to be on the next installment of the Medic box here. Very excited to see what's going on. Today's EDC is a Microtech MSI. Very cool knife. Maybe we'll do a full review on that soon. I've had this one for a little while. Got this one in trade, as I do most of my knives. Alright, so we have a little card, which we'll save for the end here. Let's take everything out of the box, and we'll put it back in the box as I go through it. So this stuff that comes in these meta boxes, is awesome for fire starting. I know that because I use it exactly for fire starting every single time. It's usually annoying when I open packages and I have this kind of stuff, but it really does come in handy for that exact purpose. Alright. Just, I mean, this catches even the simplest, lightest spark. The thing is just so dry, there's so much surface area. Works wonderfully for that. So if you happen to get a Medic box, and you do make fires, I'm sure you already thought about that, but if not, save it. You can absolutely do that in the future. Or I suppose you can reuse it for other packages. Alright, so here's all the contents. Let's go ahead and start grabbing stuff, talking about it. So first thing here is compressed gauze. Alright, so that's just what it is. Let's see, I'm sure it shows, well, it shows how to use it on the back. But what is the size? Oh, 4.5 by 4.1 yard, 4.5 inches, excuse me, by 4.1 yards. So in a tiny little tablet here. Now, it's a lot of packaging. Like, I'd want to say to be able to cut this smaller, but it's really sealed way up here. So be careful of that. If you're like me and you think, wow, this is fantastic, I want to put it in a pack, but I don't need all this, let me just trim it. If you trim it here, you cut this part here, it's not going to be compressed anymore. It's going to let all the air in, so just keep that in mind. It is sealed on the very outside. So that's the only critique here, is I love the stuff like this, but I mean, I get it. They need room to advertise what it is and all that stuff, but you know, having space, especially for medical gear, in my opinion, is really important. You want to get as much medical gear as possible in the smallest area as possible. So there you go. That's my thoughts on that. Hemostatic gauze dressing. Soluble regenerated sucralose for bleeding control. Okay, for temporary external topical bleeding of minor cuts and minor lacerations. Alright, 4 inches by 4 inches. That's cool. That's handy. That's something you can use in your daily life. You don't have to wait for the apocalypse or, you know, getting shot or stabbed to death, or almost to death, I should say, to use that. So what is this? Snake Staff Systems. See, this I don't know what it is. It's obviously a somewhat elastic sleeve, but for what? To carry what? This tourniquet, I'm assuming, maybe? That would be a smart assumption, I think. Everyday Carry Tourniquet, ETQ. There's a lot of tourniquets on the market, aren't there? This one actually has a level. Is that a level? What is that? It's not a level. They look like a level. I kind of want to keep it sterile in this packaging, so I want to read about it. You can see there's a hard plastic bit here, or hopefully you can see. Let's see. So this hard, stiff plastic, that's what you use to turn it, to create all the tension and pressure. Alright, it looks like just regular Velcro, wraps around the arm like a lot of tourniquets, but I'm not sure what's going on here with this green part. What is that? What is that for? Is that to light up, to show the area? I mean, it's not that hard finding an arm or a leg. That's a mystery. We're going to keep this off the side because I want to read about that. And also this, because that's still a mystery, even though I'm assuming it goes with that. But I don't know for sure. Alright, what is this? Some kind of name badge? TACMed Info. Emergency information card for first responders, hikers, cyclists, and more. So this is actually a really good thing to have. You don't necessarily have to have it hanging off your chest like a, you know, hospital patient or anything. But this is a great thing to have that would be probably easily visible inside of a bag, let's say. So there's some situation where you need medical help. Maybe you can't talk for whatever reason, or you can't, you know, pronounce your words properly, whatever's going on. This should be something that should be easily found. I want to say have it, like, you know, tethered to be hanging off your bag, but you don't necessarily need all your personal information floating out there for people to see. Granted, if you're going on a hike or something, you're not by people, so it really shouldn't be a concern. If you're out in the open, like with someone you trust, obviously, you don't really care about this information being seen, then yes, the best case scenario to have it literally outside your bag. So it's very quick and visible. You know, some kind of an EMT worker or medic or whatever will see this red tag. They'll look here first, and this might be very important information. So we basically have basic contact information, right? Name, address, city, state, zip, phone, and religion. Interesting. Date of birth. Then emergency contact information. Looks like there's 2. And then you can put your blood type on there, which is probably the most important. I'm trying to see what's underneath. This is something I can't take out. It's something I'll use. I don't have to worry about it being sterile. Let's get a better look at this thing here. And yes, it's a reusable bag, but you know, I'm a knife guy, so I love using my knives. I'm not going to reuse that particular bag. Okay, so we have this nice thing here. It says, pull for emergency information. Even better. You can have this in a situation where like an outside pocket that does not zipper or something, so it's not going to be enclosed, and this could just be dangling. That's even better. Hey, look at me, you know, medical information, and then you can pull it out. So I love that. All right, so there's your blood type stickers. So the back has allergies. What else? So you pop this open. Well, of course you have to pop it open, but which side? Hang on a second. Let me investigate further here. How do you open this thing? Oh, there we go. It seemed really sealed. Okay, so it's a reusable, like Ziploc bag type enclosure. Pull this card out, just because I want to see exactly what's on here. All right, medical conditions, current medications, allergies, and insurance. And then your blood type sticker goes here. That is super, super important, right, for a lot of different situations. So I definitely dig that. This is something I'll be filling out. I'll probably have my wife fill this one out and might look into getting my own. Because this is something that I actually have this information, but I have it on an SD card that I keep in one of my medical pouches, which is not ideal, but you know, if something happens, I'm never really worried about myself so much. You know, being a husband, I always worry about my wife. So like in this case, I'm going to have my wife fill this out. So her information's there, and I kind of take the secondary role. I think a lot of guys end up doing that, and maybe vice versa. Maybe if you're a woman watching, you feel the same way. We're like, no, I want to take care of my husband first, or my boyfriend, or whatever, or your kids, whatever the case may be, right? But it's good, obviously, if everyone has it. So I'll look into getting my own. But like I said, I do carry it on an SD card. A lot of times you can get medical information bracelets, where you wear it as a bracelet, but it's really just an SD card. And it plugs into a computer, whatever has a port, and you can read that person's information. That's not necessarily as helpful as something like this that's just there quickly, like in the moment. There it is. You know, I don't know, I haven't heard of a specific story where someone wears their medical band and then they get rushed to ER and they need like a blood transfusion. That's usually a time-sensitive issue. You can't really wait a couple days to figure out you have an SD card with information on it. And in most cases, they'll probably be able to contact someone who knows you that maybe has that information. But let's say they don't or whatever. It's better than nothing, but this is just the best. This has all your information in the moment when it's important to know. So this is actually really, really cool. It's helpful. This is something that's not expensive. It's not expensive to buy stuff like this. You don't even have to buy stuff. You can make something like this. You could just write on an index card you can get from the dollar store. You don't have to get like this type of stuff, but this gives you the idea of having it. And that's again why I like kind of mystery boxes in general, whether it's gear, or in this case medical gear, because it gives you ideas. This is something that I wouldn't really focus on much, but now that I've physically opened it and looked at it and talked about it, I love this idea. I want to do, again, for both of us, suggest it to other people. It's just a good thing to have, so that is very cool. Let's put that off to the side there, though. All right, so next up, Seal Hemostat Wound Spray, single use. Okay. So wound spray, it's almost like liquid bandage, I guess. Physically remove the seal plug from the wound. Irrigate a wound area with water or saline solution. A gauze can be used to assist the removal of products. Ensure all product is removed from the wound prior to installation of wound treatment. Seal should not be on the wound longer than 24 hours. That's very important to know. Ingredients. Well, you can... I know you want to hear me butcher the words, but there you go. I'll try anyway. Shitacin. Yeah, give me some of that shitacin. It's probably not that. It's probably chitacin. That sounds more medical, right? Shitacin? No. Chitacin. That sounds like it has side effects, doesn't it? Propellant, okay. And hydrogen chloride, excuse me. So, yeah, interesting. All right, so there you go. So here, let's actually read the description, because I went backwards and read the removal, but I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't have known. This can't sit on there. This has to come off. So, Seal Hemostat Wound Spray is composed of chitacin, dry powder, in spray form that provides a physical barrier or seal to stop the flow of blood. When sprayed on the wound and upon contact with blood or exudate, exudate, in combination with manual pressure to the wound. Indications for use. Seal Hemostat wound spray is indicated for local management of minor bleeding, such as minor lacerations, minor cuts, and minor abrasions. Now, all that being said, it's saying it's for minor cuts and lacerations, which generally you can just handle with a Band-Aid. Anything that's too big for a Band-Aid would probably just have gauze and some kind of a wrap to keep pressure on it. If you're bigger than that, I wouldn't consider that a minor laceration. Does that make sense? So I'm not sure when you'd really use this, because, you know, it seems like a little intense for like a little cut. This sounds like something that's bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So let's say you have an issue where you bleed easily, you're on blood thinners or something. Even though it's a minor cut, you might lose significant blood from it. So that's where this might come in. If you have, you know, issues like that where you have thinner blood naturally and you bleed and bleed and bleed, you don't coagulate easily. I can't think of the term for it. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, that would work for you very well. Most people, if you have a minor cut, you know, it's going to coagulate on its own naturally. It's not going to bleed forever. You do want to just obviously cover it and keep a little pressure. But that's cool. It's options. Options are good. I always talk about it with medical gear. It's not something you need. You don't need anything until you need it, right? That's just how it goes. You don't even need a Band-Aid. And then one day you get a cut and you're bleeding, it's annoying. You're not going to die from it, but you don't want to get blood on your shirt and clothes and stain it. You don't want to get blood on the table. You don't want to make a mess, get blood on the carpet. So it's convenient to wrap it up, right? So you don't need it till you need it. And speaking of Band-Aids, looks like we have another Super Skin pack. Super Skin med packs. So they're 10 1-inch by 3-inch bandage med packs with first aid to treats, cuts, and scrapes. So wait a minute. 10 bandage med packs. Ooh, interesting. Are these individual packs you can put other places? So contents. 10 1-inch by 3-inch medical med packs. Yeah, it looks like it. And each one has, well, all this stuff. One 1x3 bandage, one 2x2 gauze, one antiseptic towelette, and one triple antibiotic, right? All right, I'm actually going to open this. Because they're individual packs, I want to be able to put these different places. It's not going to go all one spot. Yeah, look how great this is. That's what I'm talking about. So there's literally 10 of these packs. You can put these everywhere, right? You need a couple bandages. This, I'm telling you, for most people, you're not storing, like you guys watching the videos, you might have some things here and there because you're maybe a little prepper in you watching my videos, you know, maybe you understand it's good to have stuff places, but a lot of people just don't. Maybe you got Band-Aids, like the average household in America, you have maybe a small medical type kit in like one place in your house, right? Makes sense. Everyone needs Band-Aid occasionally, so every mom in the country, every dad in the country, right, is mindful enough to keep some Band-Aids and maybe some gauze or something, little triple antibiotic ointment, something like that, right? But these can go everywhere. You could put these in your glove box. You could put this in your toolbox. You could put this in your garage. Your garage itself, because you're probably working out there, right, unless it's just for the cars. If you got any kind of shop or wood shop, metal shop, anything like that at all, you should have a pretty extensive medical kit to help yourself. But I mean everywhere, besides the vehicles, your kids, if you have kids, this should sit in their backpack. Why not? Every kid in every school, everywhere, should have a very basic Band-Aid kit, essentially, in their backpack so they can help themselves first. You get cut at school, yes, of course, tell the teacher, they go bring you down to the nurse, and you get taken care of, right? But why not take care of it yourself? Not only is it faster, but you don't have to necessarily bother someone else for it. Hey, all right, nick myself a little bit, tiny little cut, just want to make sure it stays clean or whatever. I don't want to bleed on my homework. Not that most kids care about their homework, but I don't want to bleed on my brand new shirt I got for the year. So yeah, backpacks, fantastic. I mean, just everywhere. The sky is the limit with stuff like this. So I like this because not only can I put these everywhere, but I can give these to people to put everywhere. All my family members, all my friends, all the people I care about. Hey, stash these, because I have stuff everywhere. So more than likely, these specific ones will be for just that. I'll go back and see, okay, well, this kit's a little old, I'll swap it out for this. I'll start stashing these a couple extra places, but if I don't use all of them, they're going right to family. That's it. Here, put this in your, cabinet here, car there, blah, blah, blah. So that's actually super cool. I dig it. And I'm even going to open one just to show you, just because I'm making the video. Let's take a look at the exact contents so you know. Come on, there we go. All right. So that's everything in the bag. we have our large Band-Aid. All right, can't tell if it's plastic or fabric. It looks like I can see it's fabric in there by all the little lines. Fabric Band-Aids are definitely superior in my opinion. Nothing wrong with a classic cheap plastic Band-Aid, but the fabric just, they stay on your finger better because they allow the movement, you know, especially fingers. And your arm, maybe not so much, your leg, whatever, big areas. You know, you got to cut in your back, a plastic Band-Aid's fine. But when you have like a lot of movement, those plastic Band-Aids tend to like crinkle and they lift off the skin for some reason. The glue is never as good. Fabric Band-Aids are where it's at. In fact, I'll do a full, I'll waste this one just to show you. Oh, I didn't realize that was clear. I thought that was the package. So there you go. That's a cool design. So I got a cut on my arm. You don't want to obviously touch the glue. All right, place that down. Try to use the very corner so you're not touching the pad to kind of lift this. Oh, there's actually even a flap here, even better. All right, so it goes right on the cut. And there you go. It moves around with you. It's not going to easily fall off, you know what I'm saying? Oh no. I just realized I just put that on the hair of my arm. This will be fun. Oh, I set myself up. All right. All right, here we go. It's got to be quick, right? I hope I don't have a bunch of missing hair. 3. This is really sticky. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. It took a couple hairs with it, but that's fine. I got plenty. All right, so Band-Aid. We have our gauze pad. All right, let's take a look at this real quick. A nice gauze pad, which is not super thick at all, but that can be used in addition to the Band-Aid if you need to, in case you have a little extra bleeding, or you can soak up some of the blood before you put the Band-Aid on, of course. And before you do all that, your antiseptic towelette. I'm doing this completely out of order. I should have probably dressed the fake wound, right? But unfold this guy. Don't drop it on the table because now it's not as clean. And, you know, you clean up your wound and whatnot. Here's a little random tidbit that I heard that actually works really well. So, again, I'm not a nurse, a doctor. I'm not in a position to give medical advice at all. This is for entertainment. However, if you have any kind of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, if you feel nauseous, smelling, taking slow, deep breaths of the fumes from the alcohol will kill nausea instantly. I know this because it works. This absolutely works. So if you feel nauseous, now granted, if you're on a cruise or something, you have like a constant problem with nausea because of the you know, the ship moving, whatever, you might need an actual like, you know, medicine for that type of stuff. But just like, oh, you're a little sick, I'm feeling a little nauseous, I'm telling you, you can get the isopropyl alcohol from these wipes and you smell it, it's fine. It's not as strong. If you have the actual bottle of alcohol, you just very slow, deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, let it out, take the bottle away, get some oxygen. Don't just sit there and huff the, you know, the alcohol. But I'm telling you, it works. Try it next time. You don't feel that good. Just feel a little queasy, a little nauseous. It knocks the edge off. It's really helpful. And I don't want to make a mess, but this is the antibiotic ointment. You'd obviously peel this off and put a little on there. So yeah, there you go. Let's move that garbage out of the way. Let's see, now that we wrapped up everything, what's going on with these two things. All right, so by the way, this was box 8, if I didn't mention that. Phase 3 everyday carry. All right, so you see on the bottom where we are with our little medic journey, okay? So ETQ wide, which is the tourniquet. It says a compact, durable tourniquet that is about 35% smaller than the standard tourniquets. Okay, I'll say that. Yes, if you're looking for a compact tourniquet that still works, that might be the one. I'd have to test it out on myself to make sure it's big enough. Like the bar is actually big enough for like my bigger arms, bigger legs. You know, if you have bigger people, you need longer straps, don't you? So I'll definitely check that out on my own time. But yeah, so it's smaller. That would be the only concern. Everyone wants to save space, but just consider that. As long as the strap is long enough for bigger people, and it's still helpful for any human, then that's great. It features a locking carabiner to secure the windlass, a texture grip, an integrated chem light. Okay, so that's what that is. An integrated chem light. Interesting. I guess so you can find it in the dark. You should probably know where it is on your gear, but okay, it's not hurting anything, I'll say that. Simplifies instructions designed to meet COT, CCC standards and made in the USA. Made in the USA is always a win. Oh, this pouch is for, it looks like everything. Am I wrong? TechMed info card, so that's supposed to go in the pouch. Hemostatic gauze goes in the pouch. Super Skin med packs, compressed gauze. Okay, so this whole thing goes in the pouch. Interesting. And then you could put a carabiner on here and carry this on something. That's a nice option, I suppose. Yeah. All right. I'm just looking at the light here, which is in a previous box. Trying to see how they want you to set it up, essentially. So that's what the spray looks like. If you take it out of the box, this little bottle there with the dry powder we talked about. Yeah, coming next, Human Performance and Combat Casualty Care Part 2. That's for the digital portion of this box. So yeah. All right, so coming next, finishing building your EDC wallet kit. And get, well, obviously it's not all going in your wallet. Come on. But as far as an EDC kit, maybe you could fit it in your, like, in totality when we're done here, it could fit in, like, the cargo pants pocket. Obviously, it's going to be massively bulky. So by EDC, that might transfer in reality to a glove box carry, which I know is still a vehicle. Maybe you can put all this, you know, keep all this together in a small bag that goes with you. Like if you actually carry like a Versi pack from Expedition or a crossbody bag or something of significant size, that's where you can really EDC this. Otherwise, it's going to get stashed somewhere. But anyway, finishing building your EDC wallet kit and get a compact rescue tool and an alternate pouch option to carry your supplies. Okay, there we go. A different pouch option. Well, I'm looking forward to that. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and stay tuned for box number 9, where we see all that stuff I just mentioned. I'm excited for it. That's all. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.